can also do data analysis. Data analysis. Now, what do you mean by data analysis? What do you understand by data analysis? Till now, we have done data visualization. Whatever data that is there, then we have done data visualization. Now, what is data analysis?
like obtaining raw data and using converting into information.
Using raw data and
Obtaining raw data and converting into information.
that is what we have been doing till now.
Yes.
That's what we've been doing till now. So basic and like, I understand the basic thing. Let's say we have done math y is equal to mx plus c. Uh, so in usually what happens, there is years versus sales, and there is some sort of line that we can do. So over the period of years, this was a sales. Now this, let's say this was for 2024. Can we predict what would be it for, given everything is good, what would be it for 25? We'll just basically extend this line, and we'll hope that this is your target, this is going to be uh, your sales, but it can go down or up. So we, based on the previous data, this is the range your sales will be. You can predict it. Now you're doing some sort of data analysis. These are basically a lot of, in the background there is a lot of math that happens in terms of analyzing the data. That is what, let's see what are the capabilities of different analysis right now. Create a animator scatter chart. Now this is my favorite, I would say. A lot of Instagram videos has been done based using this one. So let's try to open this, make it bigger. Now scatter chart. Now scatter chart are basically dotted over the, or multiple small circles. Add scatter chart to the visual report, and then position resets to fill the entire page. Okay. Now now we need to add all these things. Sales versus profit margin is what they're trying to do. So I'm gonna add sales versus profit margin. Sales versus profit. This is sales, this is profit margin. Okay. Okay. Now in the legend, add business type. In the legend, add business type. Business type is in legends. Okay. So we added to business type over the years. So we need to add more things. In the size, add quantity. Okay, let's add quantity in the size. Okay, now this looks good. Play axis is quarter. It's quarter. Now this is FY 2024, but you can see this is 2018 Q1. So this, we have created a scatter chart. Now what is a scatter chart? When you have different data that are available over the period of different years, you kind of plot a scatter chart. Now in usual scatter chart will be, why is new? This is how it's gonna be, like small dots, dots, dot, dot. This is how scatter chart is. And you'll usually draw a line. Now this is the math and I'm trying to explain you on the behind how the scatter chart. If you see an example of a scatter chart, usually over the population, they keep trying mortality rate, all these things use scatter chart as well. And this is scatter chart. This is kind of a scatter chart. Usually, this is a very considered as a very good scatter chart. If you see this, this kind of charts that you're seeing, this follow a line. This following a line. So this is a Olympic athletes by height and weight. So height and weight, as the height increases, the weight is increasing, and they have done with respect to the legend is basically different sports: baseball, triathlon, volleyball. So this is how the scatter chart is usually used. Usually used. Anything? Any good? Any other good example? Performance of analysis after pilot program. USA, Japan, and Canada. The legend is USA, Canada, and Japan, and they're trying to plot month of employment with month with the above average performance. Month with above average performance. Then we draw a line, average line. So let's try to do that. Now we have done basically with respect to sales versus profit margin. Sales versus profit margin is what we are trying to do. Now, to animate the chart at the bottom left, select to play. Now you can play this. Over different quarters, how is the visualization that we are able to see over different year, over different quarters. Now the size is represented by the quantity. The size is represented by the quantity. So let's understand what is happening here. Profit, sales versus profit. Now this is a sales versus profit, and the legend is basically every color is represented by different thing. Blue is this. Now you can go back to any. You can go back to whatever year you want. You can go back to whatever year you want. Depending, you can just click on it, and you can see, click on it and see how it was. Just click, you can see the previous data, how it was in this date, in this month and year, how it was. So this is a scatter chart. Now usually scatter chart is not used like this. Here for the sake of example they have showed this, but usually scatter chart is used in this way. We have multiple values over the period, how are they increasing. This is how it is usually used. For the sake of example they have used this. Now when the animation starts, select one of the bubble to reveal its tracking over time. You can see it's tracking over time. What is the track? If you can click on it, you can see what is it. It is a warehouse sales profit margin is negative 4.98 percentage, quantity is 21,000, quarter is FY 2020 Q1. So we did a very bad performance this year. Here as well, all these things is depending on the quantity, sales, and profit margin. You created a scatter chart. Now, what else they were trying to do? The filter pen create a clothing only, and notice it produces a different result. In here, filter page, they want clothing, but we didn't add anything. Where is clothing? Clothing. Did we add protect category? Category in the filters on this page, and just want clothing. They just want clothing, and we got our result. Yeah, that's it. This is the clothing result. You can add filters over here, or you can also have created a slicer. You can also create a slicer. So this is how you can use a scatter plot chart. This is how you can use a scatter plot chart. What I would suggest is, now you have done this. Now you need a pie chart. Pie chart. Now try. Now how can you use a pie chart in this? Give me an example. Give me an example of a pie chart. What would a good pie chart with the data that we have? Any examples you can think of?
Cricket score,
understand score.
Yeah, cricket score like something like mid on, mid off, long offside, onside. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm asking with the data that we have. With the data
Okay.
that we have, can we create a pie chart? If so, what kind of pie chart can we create?
Yeah, like region wise, we can say like in this region we have how much amount of sales and which region, like in a country, if we take which region has more amount of sales, kind of.
So let's go. Let's create the sales. Sales quantity. Yeah, sales versus you want to split it by region. Okay, you got that's a good chart. That's a good chart. That's a very decent chart. You can change it into a donut pie, donut chart as well. So what I would say is try different charts, try different charts and see how every chart is done. Try it out. It's not only you have to just do whatever the instructions is. Okay, now after this, the next one is create a forecast. Create a forecast. Let's try to do this. Now here, rename the forecast in the line visualization report, line chart. Okay, I need a line chart. I want to make it bigger. Now let's go date versus sales. So he's adding date. Hmm, I don't think this is what they want. They want hmm, sales. Okay, different date. What was the different sales at different date? Now, like in the previous example I've shown, you basically try to predict how does this happen. Now, in the visualization, the first one basically gives the different visualizations that are available, and what can you do with x-axis, y-axis, what values you want. You can keep it here. In in the in the formatting visual, you have your colors, you want the text size, whatever you want to change in terms of the visualization of the chart, that you can do it with respect to format your visual. Next, you have your analysis window where you can try to do analysis. You can try to create a trend line. Mostly what we use is a trend line and forecast, these kind of things that we can do here. Let's try to see what they are trying to do in this. Mostly they'll use a trend line or something in this card. And in this filters panel, add date, year onto the filters on this page. So they want year as filters on this page. Okay, filter by 2 years, FY19, FY 2020. Okay. Uh, Now, also add category in the field of the filters on this page. You also add in category. Okay, I've added category and I've added years. Okay, to add a forecast beneath it, okay, go to forecast. Let's go this visualization, go to here and let's go forecast. Let's expand this one. Now, have you seen this gray area? And the gray area is basically saying that your sale can be this. Based on the previous data over the past 2 years, because we added FY19 and FY20. This is the sales forecast. You can have this. This is what we can do. This is what we can do. Uh, it is understanding that sales can be over this period. So if you go here, the sale is 1000, see 1 million, see not 1 million, it's 100,000, 114,000, 114. Now if you go more right, the forecast upper bound is basically 200, lower bound is 20. So it is basically forecasting. Now this is happening based on the mathematical formula behind it. There is a mathematical formula behind it, and based on that it is trying to predict. Now you can also, the more data you give, the more data we have given, 2 years data right now, FY19 and FY20. Now let's add FY2 2018 as well. Then the mathematical formula can predict more in a better way. Uh, Previously it has one prediction. Now it will change its prediction because you have given more data to it. You have given more data to it. So based on the bigger the data, it will appear. Now you can also change some of these parameters. You can also change some of the these parameters. You can go confidence level to 80%. This you can also try to change the parameters here. So let's try to change few parameters. Now what does the parameters does? Basically the math behind whatever, however it is calculating, the math behind it, you are changing the parameters so it will give a better result. Let's go this to configure the forecast and apply unit by months. That is what they're doing, unit by months. It's by months. The forecast length is 1 month. You just forecast for forecast length is 1 month. That's it. And seasonality is 365 days. Confidence level is 80 and apply. So we have got few forecasts. You can change the forecast based on different. This is month. Okay, you change the forecast. So this is how you create a understand. It's not very accurate, it is nowhere accurate, but based on previous data we are just trying to understand this might be the result. It's just predicting based on a mathematical model. It's just predicting with a mathematical model. That is basically what the forecast line is doing. So that's any, did you guys understand this? You guys understood how a data, now we have, this is where you add different visualizations. This is where you format the colors, text, and all these things. If you want some sort of prediction, that also you can do. Once we start doing exercise by yourself with the data that we have provided, then we'll understand how how are we understanding it, are we able to do it better, etc. Guys understand the forecast line?
Yes, sir.
Now this is pretty much what all we have here. Now next thing I would say is, now here what happens is, like I said, now once you have the data, sometimes there is like a mind block. You don't know what do you want to do with the data. No, you don't know what you want to do with the data. uh, s- then you need a little push. So what you can do is you can add this Q&A. What I do is I can add this Q&A. What it basically does is it will give you some suggestions. Try one of these to get started. Top resellers in the country region at by max price. What is the sales percentage of all region by product category? You can go and hit what is the profit by color, top colors by profit. Now, some few are good, few are bad. I totally agree, but this will give you some sort of what do you say? Some sort of understanding to start with. Top date years by minimum price. These are all some. This is I don't think I need it. What is the order lines? No. What's the median? No. Something you have an idea but you don't know how to do it. Now I want something like total sales in FY 2020. I'll ask this. Couldn't load this detail. Why? Come on, total sales. Okay, let's say which cat has the highest sales. Okay, for a category versus sales. Now, now you can ask these things in English language, and you will kind of it will give you some sort of push to understand what write a writer's block. You can say as a writer's block. Sometimes you don't know what you have to do. So what you can do is you can try this Q&A and see. You can start up with what is happening, top colors by profit, which sales. You can add this thing, see what it gives. Now if you're satisfied, you can satisfy. I know it's by region, by product category. It's not giving me a very good answer. I'm not satisfied with this. Then you can again change it. By country, maybe this is better, but it's very crowded. Now you can say sales percentage. I'm just trying to change different things. This you kind of use it when you don't have anything to go after. Then you can use this help. This is very useful. Then you can write it with respect to English language, and you will try to get this. I'm gonna remove this. Next. It used to. Now, next thing is you can summarize this as well. This used to be free. Yeah. Now, it's not only visual that we are trying to do. It is not only visual that we are trying to do. We have to most of the time we have to write a report saying that okay, we have what is this rate at dollar this amount now had the highest sale, which was at 158% higher than 2020, which is the lowest sale at this. So from based on this visual, they have given some sort of summary. Now this summary is created by Power BI, but the thing is you don't need all these things. Now, this is basically to give an understanding, to give a summary. Now, this you can use it as a starting point. You can use this as a starting point of saying that this is what happened. So, let's say you need to write the summary. Let's say over the period in 2019, it was a great year. It was a great year, 2019, great year. You have surpassed the profit percentage by a larger margin. But after that, it took us a while. You can talk about like this, like you can talk about all these things. So you can summarize based into English language. And first, first thing first, I would usually do is right click and say summarize. Let's see what the Power BI is saying about the visual. Once it is there, then you can write, you can customize it, you can change it by yourself. The report, you can change the report by yourself. Okay, understood what I have done, this Q&A, and this summarize, Q&A summarize, both things. Have you understood?
So,
So let's go back to our okay, in this visual. This is basically for Power BI service. This is for Power BI service create now. We are creating, yes. So these are all pretty much for Power BI service. Now what I want to do is complete all these exercises, by this weekend. Because from Monday, what we're gonna do is I will give you a project, and you guys need to tell me everything. How would you do it from scratch? And I'm going to give data set to each and every one person. It's a different data set. Create a dashboard, create a dashboard, dashboard. That's what you need to do. We once You have to do everything from cleaning to modeling to visualization, and write a report on this. Do it all by yourself. Now, once you have done it, you have to present the whole thing, what you have done, why did you think in such a way, what was your idea behind it. That's something that you need to do. But before that, I would like everyone to mute to please try to do this. Try to do this, all the exercises. At least you have a basic understanding how different things work. Okay. Now, yes, Hitesh, you had a doubt.
sir,
Hitesh,
I'm unable to open it, sir. Can I send you the screenshot or video?
yeah, share your screenshot.
Okay, sir.
Screenshot or screen? No, share your screen.
No,
I'm unable to understand.
I'm unable to open it, sir. Power BI and SQL, sir, because of this laptop.
Uh,
I think I need to
because
restart it.
it is working for everyone. Only reason I'm unable to understand why it is not working with you.
The same error it is showing it again and again.
I asked you to start from scratch, right?
Yeah, I started from the blank reports.
Then what is it saying?
Same error, sir. The tables cannot form. Name employee something like
Why is it giving that error when it is a blank sheet?
that.
There is no data in the blank sheet, right? It cannot give that error. I know that you're making some mistake, but I'm unable to understand where. That's why I have to see your screen where you're making that mistake. So apart from that, Akhilesh, Hitesh, Pradeep, it is very utmost important that you have to complete this project. Then only you can do a project by yourself.
Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah.
Okay, sir, we finish by Monday.
Okay, let's try it, guys. Try it. Give me an update. Keep posting in the chat. On Monday, we'll see everyone's report. On Monday, everyone share your screen, share the whole thing. Then we're going to work on different data sets.